Welcome, everybody, to Wednesday Night Yin. We're going to start tonight on our back, like we usually do in Yin, right? And you're going to take your first few moments to arrive. Just let yourself settle in, let yourself start, become aware of your breath. Let yourself start to become aware of your body. Notice how they're working together. Like I talked about on Sunday, as we go through our class today, right, we're going to do some yin poses where they go from being really easy, really simple to a little bit more complicated, maybe a little bit more physically challenging, right? And what I want you to do is separate in your mind, right? The physical challenge from the yin, right? We always want to be doing yin in this class, and that means that it's easy, that it's comfortable, that it's soft, right? So as we go up the ladder, so to speak, right, you're going to get to a point maybe, or maybe not, where it switches over and you feel like you're not doing a yin action anymore, you're doing a gang action, where you're strengthening, where you're striving. And we don't want that in this class, right? So your challenge, right, is as you climb the ladder, right, notice where it switches over. Maybe it's at the first rung, and that's okay, right? Maybe you can go all the way and you can do the top rung of the ladder, and it still feels yin-like to you. Maybe for some sequences you climb all the way to the top of the ladder, still in your yin state, except maybe in other sequences you stay down at the bottom. It's all good. The reason we're doing that, right? We all had a disruption last week of our lives, right? Where instead of focusing on things we usually focus on, our jobs, our activities, our luxuries, right? We need to focus just on survival. There's, in yoga, right, we have these chakras. We talked about those before. The very bottom chakra is the root chakra, right? And it governs your feelings of safety and security, right? And if your root chakra is messed up, right, you can't get all the way to the top rung of the chakras. Rung of the chakras, I can't talk tonight, right? When you're still not feeling safe and secure. The same, there's another system, it's called Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? Where it shows, right, what the hierarchy is of things that you need in your life. And at the very top, right, is fulfillment and self-awareness. Here, I put on my phone, like I was telling them before, just so that I could show you guys, not show you, I don't show you what's the chart, but I'll tell you about it, right? At the very top of that chart is kind of like self-fulfillment, right? But we can't get there until we've climbed up all the other rungs of the ladder, right? And the very bottom of the ladder is food and shelter, right? You can't find self-fulfillment, self-awareness, your place in the universe, until you've met the lower hierarchy of needs, right? And most of us are not used to having to dwell in the bottom rungs of the hierarchy of needs. We don't worry that we're not going to have shelter at night, that we won't be warm enough. We don't worry that we're not going to have enough food, right? We've met those basic needs and we've moved on, right? It's the next level. Next level in the hierarchy of needs, and Maslow's hierarchy of needs, has to do with love and relationships and, meaningful connections. And then once you've filled that, you can go up to the next rung, which is your sense of accomplishment, your merits, your goals, and achievements. But you can't get there until you've built the foundation. You've got adequate food, water, shelter, right? And then we've got that support system, those loving relationships in our lives. And then we can start to think about things about education, about jobs, about achievements, right? And then we can start to find our place in the universe, right? So we have to go up, up, up. That's what we're going to do tonight, right? Up, up, up the rungs. And again, sometimes you got to stop, right? And you got to take it down a level. Talk more about that later. So if you go up too high and it starts to feel like yang action, like work, like challenge, then maybe you need to let it go, take it back down a level, and that's okay. We all have to dwell in the bottom levels sometimes. That's what I want you to realize, what we all probably realized last week. All right, now, when you're ready to start moving, right, all we're going to do at first, we're going to extend everything long. Right, so extend your legs. Take your arms, reach them overhead. Right, keep your hands on the ground, put your toes like they're just a pencil. Just stretch everything out long, and then just let yourself relax, right? Don't hold that tension, release the tension. You're just lying here. Notice what feels good in your body, what doesn't feel good. Right? Like I was talking about before, the bottom rung. All right, now, we're going to start to do our kind of like snow angels here. You're going to let your feet come out wide, let your arms go out wide. So make like a big X with your body. Hopefully you can see me, camera. Right, and then we're going to bring it all back together. So you're bringing your feet together, taking your arms back overhead. And just do that a couple times, right? Leave everything open. Close it back up. Sweep it all open. Close it back up. Do that one more time. Sweep it open. Close it up. And then from there, right, bend into your knees. Put your feet on the ground. Now you can keep your hands overhead. You can let your hands rest at your sides. You can take your arms out to a T. We're going to windshield wipe our feet here. Right? So bring your feet a little bit wider. So your pinky toes are at the edges of your mat. Right? And then you're just going to drop your knees to the right. Pull back up to center. Drop them to the left. So you're just going back and forth. Back and forth. Eventually, we're going to come to a stop here. Come to a stop, put your feet on the ground. Now you're going to take your left leg, extend it long, let your heel go on the ground. No, you can't see my left heel on the camera, but it's on the ground, right? Just take your right knee and hug it into your chest. That's what we're going to focus on. Is you're hugging that right knee in. Just take a couple breaths. Just feel this, right? Make it yin, make it soft. Make it easy. Maybe it means you gotta back it off a little bit. Maybe you need to hug it in really tight and you need that sensation and that feels easy to you. All right, now from here, you're just gonna release your right hand. Let your right hand go out in that T position. Fingertips coming straight out of the shoulder blades. Bring your left hand to the outside of your right knee. Just guide that right knee over to the left side of your body. Just take a little twist. Looking over your left shoulder. So now you're starting to feel a little more sensation, right? You feel that pull in your right hip. Again, you want to keep it yin. You don't want it to be so sharp that you're straining to stay here. Right? If that's happening, lift that knee up a little bit more. Maybe kick it a little bit straighter. Find somewhere where there is ease and comfort in this pose. Now from here, you're going to bring that knee back to center. And now we're going to kick the right leg up to the sky. Right? Flex your foot, get that heel going towards the ceiling. And then take your hands, bring it somewhere around your right leg. Just start to pull that right leg towards you. Again, you want to feel that sensation. Maybe a little more sensation now. You're keeping it easy, keeping it soft. You walk your hands up higher. Maybe you can pull the leg closer. Maybe you're getting a little more. Maybe that feels amazing to you. Maybe that's not where you need to be. Maybe you need to back it down. Go down a rung, right? Flex your foot, push your heel towards the ceiling. Now, from here, we're going to take this up another rung only if you want to, right? You can let your head and shoulders lift up off the mat. Walk your hands a little bit closer, or a little bit further up, I should say, your leg, right? Get a little more sensation going. Maybe that still feels yin to you. The sensation feels good. You want to hang out right here. Maybe it feels too yang to you and you got to take it back down a rung and let your head and shoulders stay on the mat. Know where you are. Last rung. If you want to go there, you let your left leg float up off the mat. You guys can't see me. So you're holding that right leg up, lifting your head and shoulders, bringing your nose towards your knee, and you're floating that left leg up off the mat. Right? I don't want you to let it go into a yang practice, right? So if this feels like too much for you, if you're like, oh my God, how long should we stay here? I know I can do it for a couple more breaths, right? Don't do that. Let everything relax down. Take it down. If this feels good to you, like the extra sensation, that's giving you what you need, then stay here. 3 more breaths. And then let your head and shoulders come down. Take your right knee, hug it back into your chest. And then from there, we're going to switch it out. You're going to take your left leg long, take your right knee, hug it in. Or take your right leg long, take your left knee, hug it into your chest. No, you're on to the other side. Anytime that we do these yoga poses, whether we're doing it in yin or we're doing it in a flow class, a vinyasa class, right? There's still the ladder to climb up. So think about it, right? If you can't hold plank, those of you who are used to doing slow flow, you can't even hold a plank. It's really hard to do a chaturanga. You've got to build that foundation first, right? Where the plank comes easily. Then you can start to work on the chaturanga. Right? Or it's like I always tell you guys when we're trying to practice crow, which is an arm balance, right? First, we have to get the flexibility. Then we get the arm strength. Then we get the balance. If we try to balance before we have the flexibility, before we have the arm strength, we fall. We're going to build the foundation first. All right, so from here, we're going to take our twist. You're going to let your left arm go out long, palm to the ground. Again, I'm at a weird angle now. My left arm is going straight out of my left shoulder blade. Fingertips towards the left side of the room. Take your right hand to the outside of your left knee. Just twist it to the right. Just pulling that left knee towards the right side of your body. It doesn't matter if it comes all the way down or if it's up in the air. You've got to keep it in that yin zone. Find the ease, the sukha in this pose. It doesn't mean you feel no sensation. It It means you're not feeling so much sensation that it's drawing you out of your practice. Now, I'm going to take that knee, bring it back in, and then kick it up to the side. Okay, now you're flexing the left heel. Take your hands behind your leg. Maybe it's low, maybe it's up high, but your head and shoulders down for now. And you're just finding that sensation here. Really press that left heel to the sky. Let yourself just be here. And maybe you know you took it up 2 more rungs on the other side. Sorry, there's value in spending time on this rung. You're on this side. I have to go straight to the top. We take our time in each place. If you want to go up a rung here, you start to lift your head and shoulders, maybe walk your hands a little bit higher. Bring your right in closer, push your nose up toward your knee. If that takes you out of it, then let your head and shoulders come back down, stay in the rung that you're at. And then last thing here, if you want to, you can start to lift that heel up. Now, lifting up. Core work a little bit, and maybe that feels good to you. It's what you need today. Everything's coming together, and this feels amazing. It feels like a strain. You're counting the seconds, right? And take it down a row. Let yourself feel good where you are. Back down, nice and slow. Now you're just going to take both knees and hug them into your chest. Maybe rock from side to side a little bit here. Massage the lower back. Right, now from here, you're going to take your hands to the crease of your knees. We're going to rock ourselves up to a seated pose. And we're going to come into a half butterfly, right? So you're taking your right leg, extending it long. You're just going to take your left foot, bring your left foot against the sole of your right inner thigh. Now, from here, we're just first going to go into this basic half butterfly forward fold. So you're going to angle yourself toward your right leg and just walk it out over your right leg. Again, you can go as deep as you want here, keeping your back flat. Maybe you can grab onto your foot. Right? Maybe your hands just relax. Maybe your hands are on your ankle, your shin, your knee. Find your ease here. When you think about the hierarchy of needs, about climbing a ladder, right? You all know those people in your life who are not great with money, right? And you're like, why did you just buy that new car when you can't even buy groceries, right? Or you go clothes shopping when I had to pay your rent last month? We want and we need to keep it down at the level that we're at, right? If you try too hard, too fast to go up a level, to up levels, right? It's not going to end well for you. You're trying to put yourself all the way past the edge of your foot, and your body's not ready to go past your knee. It's not going to end well for you. Right, now slowly come back up. Right, now from here, you're going to bring your right hand to your right thigh. And you're going to start to slide down along your right leg, right? And you're turning your chest over to the left, right? Maybe you just take that left hand and press down on your left knee and so let your chest open up to the left. Maybe you take that left hand, reach it up to the sky, reach it up and over your head, reach it towards your right toes. Maybe you take that left hand and wrap it around behind your back, right? I just gave you 3 different options. They weren't exactly in order of ease, right? But it's okay, you decide which one's easiest. All right, now we're going to slowly peel up here. All right, now you're going to stay where you are, all right? And you're going to take your left hand, bring it back behind your left hip, right? And your right hand's going to go up to the sky. Now, you're going to let your right toes come to the ground, and you're going to push into your left knee. So you're lifting up kind of into a baby wild thing here, right? And maybe this feels good. Maybe your hip stays on the ground, right? And you just reach over with that left hand. Again, right? If it feels like a strain to you, keep your hip on the ground. It feels good to lift it up and lengthen out, then that's what you want to do. Find your run here. And stay as long here. Just 3 more breaths. And then let yourself come back down. And we're going to sweep around. Now, you're going to come back around. Bring your hands on either side of your right leg, right? So you just look like this, right? Don't lean back, don't lean forward. Try to keep your shoulders right over your hips, right? So you're straight up and down. And then you're really gonna flex your right foot back towards you. Now, maybe you're gonna stay right here, right? Maybe you're gonna climb up a rung and you lift your right leg up and down. It's like this, up, down, right? If that feels good, for some people it's gonna feel amazing, you do that, right? If you're like, oh my God, that's killing me, then don't do it, right? You're sitting up here, you're sitting up nice and tall. Let's do it twice more if you're moving your leg, otherwise just stay where you are. And then come to a stop here. And then we're gonna switch our legs, right? So you're gonna take your left leg long, take your right foot, bring it to the sole of your right foot to your left inner thigh, and then we're just gonna take the seated forward fold here at first. You're angling your torso toward your left leg, and you're walking out over that left thigh, bringing your nose towards your knee. first time I ever heard about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? I was getting my social work degree in New York, and during my training I had to assist with this court-mandated class. It was basically for people who'd been convicted of petty theft. Mostly they were people who shoplifted, right? Although there was one kid in there who was there because he stole the stopwatch or timing, whatever, the timing clock from his high school gym as a prank. But he got convicted of petty theft. He got to go in there with all the shoplifters, right? They only tell their stories. And when they did tell their stories about what they stole and why they did it, they realized that most of them are there because they weren't content to build the foundation where they were at, right? There's one girl who stole a shirt from Kohl's for her boyfriend, right? Because she was sad that she couldn't buy him any nice presents, and that's totally understandable, but you have to be content where you are, right? You're not at a place yet where you can achieve those higher goals when you don't have enough money, right, to buy yourself food. You can't be worried about buying your boyfriend gifts, right? That's where she needed to be. So in yoga, you see that all the time, right? You see everybody around you balancing on one foot, jumping up doing a handstand. No, not here you don't, right? Right? And then you think, I should be doing that too. Why am I not doing that, right? Because you're still building your foundation. Maybe you're building your foundation for 50 years. That's okay. All right, now slowly come back up here. What are we next? Oh yeah, we're gonna take our twist, right? So you're gonna take your left hand. It's gonna slide down along your left leg. Your right hand's gonna go up to the sky, and you can reach those right fingertips toward your left toes, or you can take that right hand and just press it down against your right knee as you spin your chest open, or you can take your right hand and wrap it around behind your back as you spin your chest open. Right? All different options, all different ways to get there. Talking earlier about crazy things that happened. Wow, we all had no power, no internet, no heat, right? It's all felt so crazy to us because we were thrust down to that lower level where we had to worry about our shelter, our food, our basic needs. So my daughter's history teacher emailed her and says, oh, you need to get that essay done, and she's freaking out. And I said, you know what? We're down here right now. Right? It's okay if you don't get up there this week. Right? Right now we need to spend time down here and be all right with it. And then you're going to come back up. Nice and slow here. Now, we're going to take our little baby wild thing here. And again, you're going to take your right hand now, bring your right hand back behind you. Your left hand's going to go up to the sky. Maybe you push up off those hips. Maybe you keep it down or keep your hips down, right? Maybe you just take your left hand to your left hip. Okay? Maybe you push it all the way up to a full wild thing. Kick out. Leg out. Here, right? Lots of different ways to take it. Just 2 more breaths here. Let your hips come back down, spin back around. Bring the sole of that foot back against your left inner thigh. All right, now, this last one, right? You're sitting up nice and tall, your hands are reaching out, they're on either side of your left leg, right? But you're sitting up tall, you're not leaning forward, you're not leaning back, right? Really flex your left foot, bring your toes back towards your body, right? Now maybe this is enough for you, feeling that sensation in your hamstring and your hip flexors, right? Maybe you want to start to lift that left leg up and down. So you lift it up and down, that feels good. If you want to just keep it on the ground, you keep it on the ground. 4 more times here if you're lifting up now. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. Now from here, we're going to come around. We're going to come into tabletop. So bring yourself into that tabletop. Hands and knees pose. Shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees. And we're going to come from here, we're going to bring ourselves into a little runner's lunge. So your left knee is going to stay down. You're just going to kick your right foot out to the right here, wrap your right hand around your back, and then bring that right foot next to your left hand, right? Maybe it takes 3 easy steps for you like that. Maybe it takes you an extra step or 2, it's okay. Right, drop your right hand down outside your right foot. Maybe you got to move that left knee back so that your left knee is not right underneath your left hip, it's back behind your left hip, right? That's where you want to be. And then we're going to rise up here into a kneeling crescent, right? So you're just peeling your upper body up, right? Maybe you're kneeling crescent, you're going to keep your hands on your knees, give yourself that stability, right? You're building that foundation, that's okay, right? Maybe you're kneeling crescent, you can reach up high, you can lean back, you can take cactus arms, right? Lots of different things you can do to take it up a rung if you want, right? Maybe you keep it down a rung, you're here. Maybe you have to be all the way down here. I want this to be yin action to you, right? It's not a strain. You're not counting the seconds. It just feels good. It feels easy. From here, we're going to bring it into a half pyramid, right? So you're going to push your right leg all the way straight. Drop your hands down so they come on either side of your right leg. Right, you're going to come to that half pyramid, so you're squaring off your hips. Forward, here's my knees on the mat. You're going to shift your right hip forward, push your left hip back, let your upper body just drape over that right leg. Again. You can take your hands where you want to. Maybe they're all the way up by your ankle, allowing yourself to get a little lower. Maybe you need to keep them back for stability near your knee or your hips. Right? Maybe you can get your nose to really touch your right knee. Maybe there's 3 feet between your nose and your right knee. Now from here, right, I want you to come back to your palms. Now you're going to keep your right leg extended, right? Keep that left hip back, but start to look up, right? Now this one's really hard for me, but I'm going to try to do it. If this was my yin class, right, I wouldn't do this one because it's not yin to me. It's hard, it's yang action, but I'm going to do it just to show you guys what it looks like if you want to, right? You're going to pick that whole right foot up and then drop it back down. Pick it up, drop it back down. Right there, I did it twice, right? If that feels good, if it feels amazing to you, it definitely stretches the quad, right? You stretch mine a little too much. You should do that, right? If you can take it back a rung, take it back a rung, just stay right here. Right? Okay, now. I shouldn't have said that I can't do it that well. Not none of you are doing it, right? I know some of you could do it and it would feel fine. All right, and then when you're ready here, stop lifting that foot up and down if that's what you're doing. Walk yourself back forward, come back into that kneeling runner's lunge. Now you're just gonna take your hands to the inside of your right foot. And we're here in dragon, right? We do this pose a lot, and you all know, right? There's a million different variations of it, a million different rungs of the ladder you can climb up or down, right? So you could be right here on your palms, squeezing that right knee in towards your right shoulder. You could be down on your forearms, squeezing that right knee in towards the right shoulder. Maybe you have a block, you put your elbows on the block. Maybe you wrap your left hand underneath your right knee, get your right shoulder, underneath your right knee, right, like this, squeezing that knee and that shoulder together. Right? All different places you can go. If you need a little more sensation, right, maybe you tuck those left toes under and you come up off your left knee. Right? That definitely gives you some more stretch, some more sensation in your left leg. There are days when I want that. Right? There are days when I want to keep my knee down. Let's take 3 more breaths here. You're slowly gonna bring it back, come back into your tabletop. All right, now we gotta do all those on the other side. So here you're gonna take your left leg, kick it out to the side, right? Take your left hand, wrap it behind your back, we're just getting it out of the way, right? So you can bring that left foot right next to your right hand and come to your kneeling runner's lunge over here. So you're dropping your left hand down outside your left foot, make sure that right knee ends up back behind the right hip, not right underneath the right hip. Okay? And we're gonna come up into kneeling crescent. Right? Now maybe you're not coming up to kneeling crescent, right? Maybe you know already that you're staying down with your hands on the ground. Maybe you're reaching your hands up to the sky. Maybe you're keeping your hands down here on your left thigh. Maybe you're taking a back bend, reaching your hands back or bringing it to cactus arms. Right? It depends on what feels right to you, right? Where you're getting the sensation that you need. But it's still a yin action, it's still easy, it's still soft. Ready here, we're going to take it to that half pyramid, right? So pushing your left leg straight and your left toes flip up off the mat, drop your hands down on either side of your left leg and take that hold. You want to draw your left hip forward, push that right hip back, right? Adjust your hands. The more you push that right hip back towards your right heel, the more you're going to feel it. It's maybe you're going to push that hip back a little further. You don't want to sit all the way down because then you're taking the stretch out of it. You're not going to feel anything. Our goal here is not to make everything easy on ourselves. Our goal here is to give ourselves what we need, to keep ourselves focused on what's right in front of us. It's like that with the hierarchy of needs, right? There are days when you can reach that self-fulfillment and you've got everything else lined up. Today, you're going to get to that place where you're one with the universe. And there's other days where you just need to focus, making sure that your heat's on and food's on the table. it's okay to go back and forth. It's okay to go up and down. All right, now start to look up here, right? Your hands stay on the mat, but you're looking up, your chest goes forward. Right? Trying to bring the shoulders over the hips. Try to do it on this side, right? You're gonna try to lift that left foot up off the ground. And take it back down. Right? Maybe you can do that a couple times. A little easier for me on this leg. I don't know why, but it is. Right? Maybe it is for you on this side. Maybe it's harder for you on this side. You're not gonna do it, that's okay. Okay. Do it twice more. And then we're gonna come all the way back forward. Bend into that knee, come back to your runner's lunge. And then make your way back into tabletop. What?
Dragon?
Oh, we didn't do dragon. Oh, you guys are right, see? I was gonna ignore it altogether. Never mind, don't go back to tabletop. We gotta go to dragon. Right? So bring your hands to the inside of your left foot. Right? And find your version of dragon. See, if this was not a pose that you found that sukha in last time, that softness, right? You guys wouldn't have reminded me that I skipped it. So clearly you could do it last time, you're gonna do it here, right? Maybe it's different here. Last time you were on your elbows, now you're on your palms. Maybe this time you're gonna slide that shoulder under the knee. Maybe not, right? Maybe this time you're gonna lift that right knee up. Maybe this time you're gonna keep that right knee down. This is about the hip flexors in both legs, right? As you squeeze that left knee in, you're gonna feel it in your left hip flexor. As you either extend that right leg long or like lift the knee and tighten up that quad, that's where you're gonna feel the right hip flexor. Three more breaths here. And now you're going to bring yourself back into tabletop, however you want to get there, right? And then from your tabletop, just let yourself sink back into child's pose, right? Bring your hips over your heels, take your arms out long, let your forehead come to the mat here. If you want to sweep your hands back behind you, that's an option. If it feels better, keep them reaching forward, keep them reaching forward. All right, when you're ready here, let's come back up to tabletop. And then we're gonna drop our hips to one side or the other. We're gonna come around. Bring your legs in front of you. We're gonna go down to our back here. So on our back. See one of your toes at the very top of your mat. Take your arms out long, tuck your chin to your chest. Put yourself around, down. So you're laying here on your back. Right? Now you're gonna lift your right foot up. Put your right ankle on top of your right knee. Let your right knee fall to the side. We're going to come to an eye of the needle here, right? So we're going to pick up that left foot. Start to draw that left leg in toward you. Another one, right, where you've got to find your rung of the ladder, right? Maybe it just comes a little bit in. Maybe you're pulling that left knee all the way to your chest, bringing that right shin toward your chest. Taking your left hand to the outside of your left thigh, right hand to the inside of your left thigh. So your hands will wrap around that left thigh. then your left leg becomes kind of like your lever, right? Your path up and down the ladder. You can pull it in closer, make the sensation go up. You can back it off, let the sensation go down. More breaths here. And you're gonna release behind your left leg. Let your left foot flow back down to the mat. Okay. Let your arms go out, either to a T position or maybe just a cactus arms. It's up to you. And then you're gonna take that right foot and just draw that left knee over to the right. So both knees are falling to the right. So your right foot's kind of pulling that left knee towards the mat. You're taking your gaze over your left shoulder. So we're gonna get into that twist now. Maybe you need to take your right foot and just slide it underneath your left. So you're in your basic supine twist here. If that's what feels better to you, that's what you should do. No extra stretch in the hips. Put that right foot on top. Maybe that's what you need tonight, maybe it's not. Bring your knees back up to center here, all right? And then you're gonna go the other way with them. So you're gonna let them fall to the left. What's gonna happen is that your right foot is gonna plant on the ground. And then you're here, maybe you're still in cactus arms, maybe you're in that arms in a T. If you wanna take your left hand and push against the inside of your left knee, push that knee a little further away from you, you can do that. You wanna keep your arm where it was, keep it where it was. When you're ready here, you're just going to use that right foot, pull your knees back up to center, right? And let's switch it out. So you're going to take that right foot, put it down, pick your left foot up, put your left ankle on top of your right knee, and then you're starting to draw that right leg towards you. Take your left hand to the inside of your right thigh, right hand to the outside of the right thigh. Start to pull that right leg towards you. Again, that's your lever, right? You control it. Do you want a lot of sensation? Pull it in really close. Maybe you need to back it off. Some nights, right, when I want that extra sensation, pull a little closer. The stretch feels good to me. There are other nights when I feel the exact same sensation, but it's not what I want that night, what I want to feel, right? So I back it off a little bit so I don't feel that intensely. Sometimes I want to feel the stretch as intensely as I can. Figure out where you are today. Getting what you need out of the pose, but you're staying in that yin zone. More breaths here. to the mat. Right? Now we're going to take those twists on this side. So we start, take your arms out to a T, and you're letting that left foot drag the right knee over. Both legs fall into the left, taking your chin, your gaze over your right shoulder. So if this feels good to you, you can stay here. Always take that left foot and slide it underneath the right. Maybe more of a supine twist. Feels right to you. Now, we're going to pull those knees back up to center, right? And now, you're going to let your knees go the other way. So you're going to drop your knees over to the right. Let your left foot come flat to the ground. So you're going to twist like this. So your left knee is going up towards the sky. Right? If you want to, you can take your right hand and push that left knee away from you. Right? Or you're just taking that right here, up to you. All right, now pull your knees back up to center. Set that left foot back down next to the right. And then take your knees, just hug them into your chest. We're going to set up for our final pose here, our Shavasana. Right? So maybe you want to lay flat like we started. Maybe you want to go to some other position. Roll to your side, you can roll to your belly, you can sit up. Just find somewhere to be where you'll be able to stay perfectly still. Where you're going to be perfectly comfortable, you're going to keep it in that yin zone, right? And where your mind is going to be able to go perfectly quiet. Come to you. I'm going to do a little spray with the sandalwood citrus. It would help you relax further. Citrus will keep you energized, fall all the way to sleep. If you're at home, you have a towel, just put that towel over your eyes. If you don't have a towel, just close your eyes wherever you are. Let yourself start to get to that quiet of mind. Let your breath help you. Learning to control your breath, letting it go. It's doing whatever it wants to do. But your focus is on it. You're noticing it, you're observing it. Letting it take over, letting it guide you. Letting it guide you right to a place where there's nothing left in your mind but you and your breath. You get there, right? slowly start to come back into the room. Wiggle your fingers, your toes, feeling that increased sensation that comes with a quiet mind. If you want to here, take your arms overhead, do a nice full, deep body stretch. And from there, just roll over onto your right side in the fetal position. Take a couple breaths right there. Just reacclimate to our space, the sights, the sounds, and then come back to you. Take as long as you need right here. When you're ready, only when you're ready, push yourself up to seated, and we will close here. Now we're going to close just with our two Bhamari breaths and then an Om. The Bhamari breath, we inhale as we exhale, make that little humming sound in the back of the throat. And the Om is the universal syllable, it uses all parts of the throat. You can join me in these breaths or you can just listen. Let's close our eyes here. We'll inhale together. Inhaling again. And then we'll inhale one final time and Om. Let your eyes drift open. Bring your hands to heart center. Thank you, all of you, for sharing your energy, your practice with me this evening. The light in me honors the light in each of you. Namaste. All right, so I will see you guys all Saturday for some slow flow. Right, unless anything else catastrophic happens, but hopefully it won't, right? Angie will be here tomorrow morning if you need more yin. She's here at 9, so check her out. Otherwise, I'll see you guys Saturday. Have a great night.